Have you ever seen a vehicle that made you do a double take, wondering, what in the world is that? Well, today, we're diving into the world of strange, extraordinary, and downright bizarre vehicles that have left their mark on history. From cars that can swim to machines that walk like living creatures, this list is packed with wonders you won't believe exist. And trust me, the closer we get to number one, the stranger these vehicles become. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and stick around because today's countdown is guaranteed to keep you hooked from start to finish. Number 10. The Dymaxion car. Starting us off at number 10 is the Dymaxion car. Created in the 1930s by Buckminster Fuller, this futuristic vehicle was an ambitious attempt to reimagine what cars could look like and how they could function. Shaped like a teardrop and measuring over 20 feet long, the Dymaxion was not just a car, it was an experiment in efficiency and design. Here's the kicker. This car was designed to hold up to 11 passengers, run on a fuel-efficient engine, and achieve speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. Fuller envisioned it as the ultimate multi-purpose vehicle, with the potential to eventually take flight like an airplane. Yes, you heard that right, this was meant to be a flying car. But here's where things went off the rails, literally. The Dymaxion had only 3 wheels, with the rear wheel providing steering. While this allowed for sharp turns and a tiny turning radius, it also made the car notoriously unstable. A tragic accident during a public demonstration tarnished its reputation, leading to the project being abandoned. Number 9. The Amphicar. At number 9, we have the Amphicar, a quirky vehicle that was equal parts car and boat. Built in the 1960s in West Germany, the Amphicar was marketed as the ultimate adventure vehicle for those who wanted the freedom to drive on land and float on water. Picture this: you're cruising down the road on a sunny day, and you decide to cut through a lake instead of driving around it. Sounds cool, right? The Amphicar made that possible. It was equipped with propellers and a sealed body, allowing it to seamlessly transition from land to water. However, as innovative as it was, the Amphicar wasn't exactly a hit with critics. Its top speed on land was a modest 70 miles per hour, and in water, it could only manage a sluggish 7 knots. It wasn't the best car or the best boat. It was an awkward hybrid of the two. Maintenance was another nightmare, as the vehicle required constant care to ensure it remained watertight. Number 8. The Terrafugia Transition. Flying cars have been a staple of science fiction for decades, but at number 8, the Terrafugia Transition. Introduced in the early 2000s and 10s, this roadable aircraft was designed to switch seamlessly between driving and flying. Here's how it worked. On the ground, the Transition operated like a regular car, albeit with wings folded up along its sides. When it was time to take to the skies, the driver or pilot could unfold the wings, engage the flight controls, and soar off the runway. It was the ultimate blend of convenience and cutting-edge technology. But before you start planning your airborne commute, there were a few caveats. First, you needed a pilot's license to operate the Transition. Second, it required access to a runway for takeoff and landing, so you couldn't just lift off from your driveway. And lastly, it came with a hefty price tag, making it inaccessible for most people. Number 7. The Lunar Rover. Coming in at number 7 is a vehicle that's truly out of this world, the Lunar Rover. This electric buggy was developed by NASA to assist astronauts during the Apollo missions. It made its debut on the moon during Apollo 15 in 1971 and quickly became an iconic symbol of space exploration. The Lunar Rover was lightweight, weighing only 463 pounds, but it could carry 2 astronauts, their equipment, and even moon rocks for analysis. Its unique design featured wire mesh wheels, which were specifically engineered to handle the moon's low gravity and rocky terrain. What's even more fascinating is how well the rover performed despite the challenges of lunar conditions. Dust storms, craters, and uneven surfaces were no match for this engineering marvel. It could travel up to 8 miles per hour, modest by Earth standards, but impressive on the moon. Number 6. The Rinspeed Scuba. Have you ever dreamed of driving underwater? At number 6, we have the Rinspeed Scuba, a Swiss-engineered car that makes this dream a reality. Inspired by the amphibious Lotus Esprit from the James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me, the Scuba is an electric car capable of driving on land, floating on water, and even diving beneath the surface. Unveiled in 2008, the Scuba featured waterproof components, propellers, and water jets for underwater navigation. However, it wasn't exactly practical. The driver had to wear a scuba mask because the interior would flood during submersion. Despite its limitations, the Scuba is a marvel of innovation and creativity. It's not every day you see a car that can turn a lake into a road. Could this be the future of aquatic exploration? One can only imagine. Number 4. The Helicron. The Antelope Carriage. Sliding into number 4 is the Helicron, a vehicle that looks like a mashup of an airplane and a car, but with a twist. This French oddity from the 1930s was powered not by a traditional engine, but by a giant propeller mounted on its front. Yes, you heard that right, a spinning, exposed propeller that made the Helicron look like it might take off at any moment. The idea was to create a lightweight, aerodynamic vehicle that could achieve high speeds using a propeller-driven design. The Helicron was made almost entirely of wood to keep it light, and its designers believed it would revolutionize transportation by combining the efficiency of aviation with the convenience of a car. But here's where things got weird. The open propeller wasn't just a safety hazard, it was a debris magnet. Driving this vehicle on a gravel road was an invitation for disaster, as the spinning blades would fling stones in all directions. The Helicron also lacked brakes in the traditional sense, making it incredibly dangerous to operate. Number 3. The Bigfoot Monster Truck. At number 3, we've got a vehicle that redefined the word monster. Bigfoot, the original monster truck. Created in the 1970s by Bob Chandler, this gigantic truck became a cultural phenomenon, giving rise to a whole new genre of motorsport and entertainment. Bigfoot started as a modified Ford F-250 with oversized tires, but Chandler kept pushing the limits, making the truck larger, more powerful, and more outrageous with each iteration. By the 1980s, Bigfoot was performing jaw-dropping stunts like crushing rows of cars, jumping over obstacles, and even driving through buildings. What made Bigfoot truly strange was its sheer scale. Its tires were originally 48 inches tall, but later versions sported tires over 10 feet high. These vehicles weren't just built for spectacle, they were engineering marvels capable of handling extreme stress and performing feats that seemed to defy physics. Number 2. The Stratosphere Chamber. At number 2, we're venturing into the realm of experimental aviation with the Stratosphere Chamber. This bizarre vehicle, developed in the 1930s, wasn't designed to traverse roads, water, or even traditional airspace. Instead, it was built to carry humans into the upper atmosphere, an uncharted frontier at the time. Picture a large pressurized metal sphere mounted on a gondola-like structure and tethered to a massive helium balloon. The Stratosphere Chamber was intended to ascend to altitudes of over 70,000 feet, where the air is too thin for traditional airplanes to operate. The goal? To study the upper atmosphere and break altitude records. The interior of the chamber was cramped, with just enough room for 2 brave scientists. They wore bulky protective suits and relied on rudimentary life support systems to survive in the near-vacuum conditions. The exterior was coated with reflective material to protect against intense solar radiation. Number 1. The Walking Truck. And finally, taking the top spot on our list of strange vehicles is the walking truck. This machine, developed by General Electric in the 1960s, looks like something ripped straight from a sci-fi movie. Imagine a massive, 4-legged robot controlled by a human operator who sits in a cockpit and uses joysticks to move the legs. The walking truck was designed as an all-terrain vehicle for military applications, capable of traversing rough landscapes where traditional wheeled vehicles would struggle. Its hydraulic legs allowed it to step over obstacles, climb inclines, and even balance on uneven ground. Despite its limitations, the walking truck paved the way for modern robotics and legged vehicles. Its design principles can be seen in today's cutting-edge robots, like those developed by Boston Dynamics. The walking truck may not have been a commercial success, but it stands as a testament to humanity's boundless creativity and determination to push the boundaries of what's possible. And there you have it, the top 10 most strange vehicles in history. From walking machines to flying cars, these creations show us that innovation knows no bounds, even when it ventures into the bizarre. Which of these vehicles blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through the strange and fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.